Right, mic check, mic check. Right, mic check, mic check. All right, we're good. Okay, what do we got? Luke YT, which I assume he is a YouTuber with the big eyeball emoji. I assume that is due to the title of my stream, whether or not Project Motor Racing is picking up steam, or rather gaining any kind of positive momentum. I guess getting straight to it, we all know that this game had a bad launch, and we know that the big YouTubers have gone all in on this game, absolutely trashing this game. But I also predicted that once the game started getting fixes and start improving, that we would start to see the streams of is the game improved, is the game better. I've seen that coming from a mile away. Because for some of these YouTubers, it's all about clicks. It has nothing to do with whether this is actually a bad game or whether the developers are actually going to fix it. It's about an opportunity for clicks. So I've seen that coming a mile away, that as soon as we got that first update, here comes the streams and videos. You know, is the game improved? Has the patch made the game better? Is it still dog crap? All that stuff. And
At the borderline said, "Hi from Belgium." Hello. Smiley face.
Hello from Belgium. Do you live close to the Spa racetrack? If so, how many times have you been there? Spa, that's a track that I originally did not like the first time I raced on it, on sim racing, but it's one of my favorite tracks now. So before I get back into this talk about all the controversy or criticism surrounding this game, I want to start by thanking everybody for all the views. Since this game launched back on Tuesday, and I've been streaming this game for the past few days, I've gotten more views. At the borderline
said, "Yes, I do. Spa is a great place, great scenery also."
You know, I would love to see that track one day, but I would imagine parking and trying to get onto the track and stuff like that, that's probably got to be a hassle. Because these big events, like for instance, when I go to an NFL football game here in America, traffic can be backed up for as far as you can see, and like some days it'd just be easier for me to stay home and watch the game. So again, I'd like to thank everybody, because since this game launched, I've got more views on this game in the past few days than, say, Le Mans Ultimate. I've got more views off of Project Motor Racing in 4 days than I would get off of Le Mans Ultimate in a month. And I don't think my titles have been negative about this game, so I'd like to think that there's a pure interest in this game. I have not made any titles that Project Motor Racing is garbage, the devs did this, none of that negative shit in there, because
at the borderline said, "Yep, crowded place during Grand Prix."
I would imagine.
At Adrenaluke said, "You better watch out, Cross is going to send every unit after that car." At Adrenaluke said, You must have taken it back from Razer.
If you refer to this BMW, it's actually a pretty nice car. I like driving it. I'm not really a big fan of the other cars in the class, but I do like this car. So I know I was in the middle of talking about yeah, I was in the middle of talking about all the views that my streams have been getting, and I haven't been negative about this game. When it first came out, I mean, when the game launched, at least when I got hold of it, by then everybody who had early access to the game was pretty much being negative on the game. And so at that point it didn't make a difference, because I had already pre-ordered the game, because they give you the GTE class as a pre-order bonus, and the GTE class is my favorite class, and they give you 7 cars, whereas some of the other games have 2, 3, 4 cars. So to get 7 GTE cars, I'm willing to bet that probably only iRacing has more GTE cars. And so to get 7 GTE cars free as a pre-order bonus, that alone was enough for me to buy it. Otherwise, I'm going to be honest and say that I would have waited until the VR came out before I bought this game, because I race in VR. That is my preference. That is my passion. So I didn't intend to stream this game as much as I did. I intended to do a couple of streams, and then I would probably come back and get more serious about it once we get the VR. But I've been enjoying this game. And the vibe, from my point of view, at least here on my channel, the vibes have been mostly positive. Nobody has really come in here trashing the game and saying this and that about the developer. Sure, we know that they overhyped the AI, and we know they overhyped the physics. One second. Okay, every now and then I get some funky stuff with this headset that I'm wearing. It made me lose my train of thought. Oh, about the AI that the developer overhyped. I wasn't too worried about that.
At the borderline said, to me, great game, good AI now, and great FFB.
The force feedback is, I'm getting 2 different versions of the force feedback, because like right now I'm sitting on my Logitech G923 wheelbase, but I also, out in the living room, you know, I have a Fanatec Podium DD1, which is mounted on a full rig. So I get 2 different types of force feedback, and I guess the big thing with me when it comes to force feedback, the biggest thing that I care about is that the wheelbase isn't clipping or oscillating. And a lot of times when it does do that, it comes down to a simple case of just turning down the gain. So, but as far as the devs fixing
at the borderline said, the FFB is set in the pit by cars.
Okay, I mean, there's still a lot for me to learn with this game, and honestly, all the intricacies of this game, I'm not going to dive super deep into them until the VR comes out, because the VR is crucial for me. Not only do I love to race in VR, I'm actually faster in VR, because I've been doing it for so many years. So I would tell you that whatever kind of lap times you see me put on this game,
at the borderline said, non-clipping and no oscillation for me.
No, I haven't experienced that yet, but I did see one I did see one streamer who I think has been a little bit narcissist. He experienced some oscillation, but I don't know if he did that on purpose to make the game look bad or not, because I have seen some stuff, and I will get into that, because I think one content creator who's a huge content creator, I believe he has a personal vendetta against the developers, and he went out of his way to post a video on Twitter to make them look bad. And then the other one that I spoke of, there was a narcissist. He put a title in. He put a title on his stream that suggested that
at the borderline said, on my YouTube page, you'll get a link to the official FFB document.
Okay, you got a YouTube page? All right, I'll have to check it out. Now, see, Adrena Luke also, I'm assuming, has a YouTube page too, YouTube channel.
At the borderline said, yes, many sell-out YouTubers.
Yeah, so before we get into these YouTubers, I'll finish what I was saying about the force feed, the AI. I didn't think it was a big deal about the AI, because that comes down to adjustments. That's something they can adjust. That's something they control. The issues with the online, that was probably an unforeseen situation, because they're trying to make this game work for God knows how many different configurations of PCs, along with
at the
consoles.
borderline said, sorry, yes, smiley face.
Okay, yeah, I'll definitely have to check out your channel after this stream. So yeah, to me, those are the two biggest things that needed to be addressed, was the online and the AI. The AI, as far as I'm concerned, has been addressed. The online, yeah, it's been addressed, but I still experienced some crashes in the custom lobbies. I haven't done a rank race yet. But the custom lobbies, I've seen a good amount of them, and I haven't seen not that many of them. Nah, that Nordschleifer doesn't interest me, and neither does the LMDH. And then the other ones are locked. So I guess I'll set up a single player race. Speaking of which, I plan to be done with this stream. It's almost 8:30 a.m. Eastern time. I plan to be done with this stream around 10 o'clock, because I have a 1-hour endurance race on Race Room that starts at 11 o'clock. And so I'll basically be shutting this stream down around 10 o'clock and then starting up another one 45 minutes later for the Race Room stream. So check me out there. For the Race Room stream, I will be on my other wheelbase, and I will be racing in VR. It's a 1-hour race, GT3s, hypercars at the Nürburgring GP layout. So, and I like that track too, so definitely come and check that out. So yeah, this class right here doesn't really do anything for me, but I do like that BMW. I haven't even tried the GT4s yet. Not really interested in them, to tell you the truth. I'll do them once in a great while, but for the most part now, I'm not really interested in them.
At the borderline said, yes, online configs are hard for the devs, but they'll sort it out, I guess.
Yeah, they'll sort it out.
2.25 p.m. here. I will check that out. At rsr_nogenetics said, good morning.
Good morning.
At rsr_nogenetics said, how do you like the update?
as far as the AI, the updates, as far as the AI goes, I knew that would get fixed. Because as far as I'm concerned, that's just a matter of turning a dial. Either you turn the AI up or you turn the AI down. So I was never, all this outrage about the AI I thought was definitely unnecessary. Now, sure, Ian Bell, he did overhype the AI and was like, nothing like it, yada, yada, yada. But when I saw what the AI was like, I was never outraged about it. I knew it would get fixed. I felt like it was just a case of them turning the aggression down. So yeah, I feel like that's a simple turn of the dial. The online, that as I was about to say earlier, that was probably a situation that they could not have predicted, because you're talking about optimizing this game for possibly thousands of different types of PCs, along with Xbox, along with PlayStation. Because I think they
at RSR_Loganetics said, I think the FFB feels a lot better.
So my thoughts on the force feedback is, on my Fanatec wheelbase, the force feedback felt belt driven and didn't have the sharp details like you would get out of a direct drive wheelbase. So I felt like maybe the force feedback needed to be optimized a little bit more. But my base shakers, accounted for that, because, my wheelbase along with my base shakers, feels excellent. Some of these tracks, you feel the details, because some of these tracks have cracks and grooves in the road, and it pulls the steering wheel. So that, to me, that adds to the immersion a little bit. So I really can't wait until we get the VR. Now, the wheelbase that I'm sitting at right now is a Logitech G923. I feel small details, but this isn't a very powerful wheelbase, so that it doesn't have very much resistance. So when I'm on this wheelbase, I can't really praise or criticize the force feedback.
At the borderline said, download the FFB document, you'll be amazed.
Okay, I'll definitely get around to that. But right now, because I stream several different sims, I also stream Le Mans Ultimate, Race Room, now Project Motor Racing. Once in a great while, I stream GT7. And I'm starting to weed those games out based on the amount of fun that I'm having, or lack thereof. Because I think one thing that destroys the game is dirty driving. And that's definitely prevalent in GT7, and it's gotten to be a problem on
At
Le Mans Ultimate.
Shumi_VR said, holding out for sales/VR here.
Well, I don't have anything against that. I mean, I'm okay with the
At Shumi_VR said, AC Rally you've good fun in the meantime, monthly updates incoming.
I'm not a rally guy, so definitely I'm not in the place to comment on AC Rally, especially if I haven't played it. Because one thing I'm not going to do is jump up and be one of those guys and say the game is trash or the game is great if I haven't played it. I don't know if I will play it, because I think I already have Dirt Rally 1 and 2 in my library, and I've only played those once or twice. And when
At the borderline said, I drive on Moza, the FFB is far better than M.2 or Race Room for instance.
Now, this is something I don't talk about much, but I feel some type of way towards Moza. A couple of years ago, I wrote them a letter asking for a review unit when they first came out with the R5 bundle, and the letter was ignored. Even though my channel was small, and it still is small. I thought I was a good person to advertise the game because I buy everything, you know, just about everything, especially when it comes to hardware. I bought every single thing that I've never gotten anything from anyone. And I felt some type of way towards Moza that they ignored me, but yet they went out of their way to chase down all these giant YouTubers like a Jardier, who's gonna like an R5 wheelbase with 5 Newton meters of torque. Come on, I mean, his everyday wheelbase is probably a wheelbase that's probably got 25 Newton meters of torque. So he's probably gonna set, you know, the Moza wheelbase. He's probably gonna set it up on his spare rig to do one video talking about it, and then he's never going to come back to it. So yeah, he'll make that one video talking about the Moza, whatever, and then he'll never come back to it. In my case, I would have found use for it because I would have used it exactly the way I'm using this Logitech wheelbase. I'm in my bedroom right now. It's attached to a folding table and I'm sitting in a lawn chair.
At the borderline said, I don't pride Moza particularly, just telling what I drive. Fanatec is great too.
Oh yeah, I'm not trashing Moza because I don't know how good or how bad their product is. I'm just stating that I got personal reasons why I'd probably never buy one. So if they would have at least responded and be like, hey, you know, we're trying to attract bigger channels, you know, you don't have enough subs, whatever, fine. But they didn't respond. So it's something I don't get into that much, and you probably won't really hear me talk about it again because so it's just something that, you know, it's something that I'm not going to dwell on. Just move on. If you hear me talk about it, it'll be in passing.
Said, understandable, smiley face.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, hell, Fanatec did some shit that I didn't like. I had pre-ordered the CSL DD, and this came at a time when the CSL DD was basically the first budget direct drive wheelbase. So demand outweighed supply. Everybody wanted one, but they couldn't get them out fast enough. And then you had COVID causing a problem with the shipping chain. You know, a lot of supplies weren't making it to the States and stuff like that because they were getting jammed up in the harbor or ships being stuck in China, whatever the case may be. And so I pre-ordered the CSL DD, and over the next 2 or 3 months, I'm getting letters from Fanatec saying that my DD is still on a ship stuck in China. We expect that you'll get it, you know, 2 months from now, whatever the case may be. Finally, I got tired of it. So I went to the Fanatec went to their site to see which of their distribution warehouses had wheelbases already in stock.
Said, no Moza if Fanatec wasn't there first.
Yeah, true. So I go to the Fanatec website, and their distribution warehouse in California had the DD1 in stock, $1,200. So now I'm going from paying $500 for the CSL DD because I ordered the power pack as well, to now ordering the $1,200 wheelbase. So I had to go to Fanatec and cancel the pre-order. I had to cancel the pre-order, and then I had to explain why I was canceling it. And I put down that I'm canceling it to upgrade to the Podium DD1. I don't think Fanatec's going to have a problem with that I'm canceling a $500 order so I can put in a $1,200 order. So yeah, I mean, Fanatec pulls some bullshit too, and it's not the only time they pull some bullshit on me. On my Fanatec wheelbase, they had like before before Corsair bought Fanatec, they used to have excellent Black Friday sales. Um, I bought the Formula One version V2 wheelbase. This was a wheelbase that retailed for $350. It was on sale for Black Friday for $200. So naturally, I ordered it. Well, a lot of people ordered it too, so there was a shipping issue. So it took them 2 months to get that wheelbase to me. And then the other thing was, I kept getting. They shipped the quick release. They shipped it separately, and then make it even worse, the quick release, they wouldn't just drop it off at my door. Somebody had to be there to sign for it. So, like, once a week, I kept getting these letters from FedEx saying that they tried to make a delivery, but no one was home. We'll try again next week. If it doesn't get picked up at such a time, it'll get sent back to the manufacturer. All this shit. And then this went on for almost 2 months. And
At the borderline, said, Asetek is now sold to China. All companies have downsides for sure.
That didn't come through. Okay, so to finish what I was saying, I think after about two months of this shit, I think FedEx got tired of trying to deliver the quick release and no one being there to sign for it. I think after a while, I think what they did was, I think they got the neighbors to sign for it and then just left it at my front. Jeez, I don't know what this beep is, this occasional beep that I get in my headset. So that's why I have to make occasional mic checks. They got the neighbors. Okay. So yeah, I've gone through some shit with Fanatec as well. So, but at the time, Fanatec gave you the best bang for your buck. So case in point, the CSL DD was $500. Anything else?
At the borderline, said, same problems here with deliveries.
So, yeah, I mean, but with the Fanatec, I was too far into Fanatec to cancel all this shit because all my equipment is Fanatec. Like, I ordered, like, Fanatec equipment that I've owned. I've owned the CSL Elite wheelbase, CSL Elite pedals, CSL pedals, the Podium DD1 wheelbase, the Formula One V2 wheel, the McLaren V2, GT3 wheel. I own that. So I was too far invested into Fanatec to like cancel those orders. Because I didn't want to mix and match all these different brands because I didn't want any compatibility issues. So my entire, my wheelbase, my pedals, the wheel itself
At
is all
Room
Fanatec.
1512 said, can you remove the hands off the wheel yet?
I don't know, but I would prefer the hands on the wheel, especially once they get VR, because I normally race in VR. So, like, when this game gets VR support, that's what you guys are going to see me doing. Now, I'm going to be watching, the analytics of the streams, VR versus non-VR, and see which one gets more views. But preferably, I prefer to race in VR. I love it. And hands on the steering wheel adds to the immersion. When I'm in VR and I see those hands on the steering wheel, along with my hands being on the real steering wheel, it feels like the hands that I'm looking at inside the car, it feels like those are my real hands. So I've never investigated as to whether or not you can remove the hands from the wheel. But I've seen some games do that where you can remove the hands, but it looks weird. It looks like a ghost is driving the car. Let's do the Mustang. Let's do that.
At the borderline. Said. Where are you located in the U.S. Lincoln?
I am located in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Oh, you know what? I forgot to get into a couple of YouTubers that I feel like
At Migamingroom 1512. Said. You should still have the option to remove hands if you're playing on single screen in cockpit view, else it looks silly. At the borderline. Said. Nice, though never been there, sadly.
don't come here in the winter, because we've got some nasty winters here. I think only states like Minnesota and Wisconsin have nastier winters than us. But to come back about the hands, I agree with you that they should give you an option to remove the hands, but I don't agree that the hands on the wheel look silly. I mean, it's that looks more real life than a car steering by itself. Looks like when this stream is over, I'm going to have to move this game to an SSD. I downloaded this game on an external hard drive because I didn't think I would be playing this game that much. And not only that, I didn't think I would be playing it this much from this computer. I've said it so many times, I need a calculator to say how many times I've said it, but I've got 4 PCs, and the PC where my Fanatec wheelbase is connected to, that PC has a 4090 in it. But yet, I've found myself playing it, Project Motor Racing. I played it more on this PC here that's got a 3070 on this Logitech wheelbase, which is, hey,
At the borderline. Said. SSD are so much faster than hard disks, yes.
Yeah.
At Migamingroom 1512. Said. No, because you have your wheel with your real hands on your real wheel, why would you want hands also on the screen?
Well, because I race in VR. So when I'm racing in VR and I see hands on the steering wheel, being that I'm sitting in the car in VR, it adds to the immersion. So I'll put it this way. Pay attention to, don't forget the name of my channel. I'm Lincoln Clay VR. I race in VR. That being said, if I'm racing in VR and I'm actually sitting inside the car.
At Migamingroom 1512. Said. I don't race in VR. At the borderline. Said. That's maybe cause of you hard disk that your FFB isn't great, too low in infos transfer. At the borderline. said. The stream freezed. At MigamingRoom1512. Said. If you're not playing in VR then you wouldn't want the hands on the screen, can you not see that?
It looks. So I don't think the stream is frozen. I just paused it.
At AmanYF6PR. Said. There you are.
Yeah, the stream never froze. I paused it. I paused the game, so because obviously we're in a debate now about hands on the wheel.
At AmanYF6PR. Said. Any word when this will be out in VR?
As far as the devs go themselves, they're supposed to give us an update in the next few days of what their roadmap is, of when they plan to give us the VR and the triple screen
At the
support.
borderline. Said. LOLOKI.
So, oh.
At Shumi_VR. Said. There is an option for no wheel in cockpit options, I think. Seen streams without a wheel. At AmanYF6PR. Said. How does it feel to be on a flat screen?
Keep in mind once again that um, that I'm in my bedroom and I'm on one of my other PCs. I'm on one of my lower spec PCs. I'm sitting in a lawn chair and I got a Logitech wheelbase clamped to a folding table. So let me double check, make sure you guys can still hear me. So you're gonna hear a loop for a second. Oh crap. Let me double check, make sure you guys can still hear me. So you're gonna hear a loop for a second. Oh crap. Okay, so let me double check, make sure you guys can. So what I'm dealing with, I'm wearing some SteelSeries um, wireless headphones, and I hear an occasional beep with it.
At P.G.33 Sim Racing said, I can hear.
Paying attention to the setups and the force feedback settings and that kind of stuff because you actually you interpret corners different when you approach the corner flat screen and
At
when
the
you approach.
borderline said, be right back, away for 10 minutes.
Okay, we'll see you when you get back. You interpret things differently when you approach a corner, when you race flat screen, and when you race in VR. When I race flat screen, you're moving a lot faster than it seems in VR, and the corner approaches you like that. It's so far in the distance that you almost can't make it out. And then when it comes right up on you, you almost don't have time to react. So it's like you have to know that track like the back of your hand. In VR, especially if you're getting a super clear picture in VR, I'm inside the environment. So I can see everything, especially if it's a track that has elevation changes in it, that has hills and that kind of stuff. I can see it from far away. So I already have an idea of how I can approach the corner before I even get there. So yeah, right now I'm just putting around having fun. If the VR was out right now, I would be in VR. I would be going into my force feedback settings. I would be
At
going into the setups.
P.G.33 Sim Racing said, I agree VR is different.
Yeah. Flat screen, I have to rely on brake markers more than ever. When I'm in VR, I can see how far away the corner is. I can see how far.
At Gaming Room 1512 said, what American tracks are there? At LabPunk7562 said, triples make up a lot that a single monitor does not give you.
I've tried I've set up triples before, but I did it in a bootleg manner. So here, let me pause this again. So on my main rig, it's in the living room, and I've got a 65-inch TV sitting right in front of me. To my right, I've got a 32-inch monitor. But once upon a time, when I was trying to do, sometimes I do the two PC setup. So the PC that I'm setting at right now is my streaming PC. So sometimes I'll connect the two and do a two PC setup when it comes to streaming. So that way my gaming PC isn't taxed, from the streaming duties. So I let the streaming PC handle that. Jeez, I forgot where I
At
was.
LabPunk7562 said, I like the peripheral vision you get with triples compared to VR.
Oh, thank you.
But VR gives you depth perception.
Yeah, absolutely.
Big trade-off. I use both.
Absolutely. So thanks for the reminder, because that's where I was about to go with that. So just to see what it was like to do the triples thing, because I've got several PC monitors laying around. So what I did was I've got my 65-inch TV in the middle. I put one 27-inch monitor to my left and put one 27-inch monitor to my right. They were not connected, but I still had three displays in front of me. So I was playing Automobile Lister 2, and naturally the main view is on the 65-inch TV. Left monitor, and I see everything out of the left side window and everything out of the right side window.
At Jones Movie Bar 7580 said, "Thanks Mr. Steve Hawkins."
Oh, okay. I had to do something here. Okay, sorry. Still looking at a couple of things. Okay, so VR. Not only is it, the depth is there, it's actually...
At Migaming Room 1512 said, "Don't you find wearing a headset annoying after a while?"
No! Keep in mind that I've been doing VR since 2016.
At Shumi_VR said, "Like wearing a racing helmet." At Migaming Room 1512 said, "True."
Okay. Christmas, it's stayed in my closet.
At Technogov said, "Has anyone else had an issue with P.MR recognizing their aesthetic pedals in the controls menu but the game doesn't register any input from gas, brake, or clutch pedals?" At Noodle14 said, "IO Lincoln Clay Victory Hand Medium Dark Skin Tone." At Noodle14 said, "I hope all is well. Folded hands medium dark skin tone." At Shumi_VR said, "Hi Noodle."
Like the Resident Evil scared the dog shit out of me. Tried a couple of other games, but to get straight to it.
At Noodle 14 said, Shumi Victory Hand Medium Dark Skin Tone.
Cool. So I tried the Drive Club demo in VR. That gave me the most exhilarating feeling I ever had, followed by the worst feeling that I've ever had, because I'm sitting in a Ferrari doing 200 miles an hour inside the car. I had never seen anything like that, never felt anything like that before, so it was mind-blowing. The problem was I'm sitting in a chair and my feet are touching the ground, so my eyes are telling me that I'm moving at 200 miles an hour, but my feet being stuck to the floor are telling me that I'm not really moving. So that shit screwed me up and caused all kinds of motion sickness. Used to it. I was drinking ginger ale and eating ginger root, turning on the fan, all kinds of shit.
At Noodle 14 said, oh no, dang, that's crazy, that's how I get when I get motion sickness. At Noodle 14 said, I'm down and out for the whole day, LOL. At Noodle 14 said, I have to go take a nap and touch some grass.
Not ideal for starting last, so I hope you're...
At Noodle 14 said, 4-leaf clover GL 4-leaf clover.
Oh, I had a little freeze there.
Last lap, keep pushing.
At Shumi_VR said, a lot of people were expecting something on the level of a mule without confines of what?
Give me a second. I caught most of that comment, but I'm about to read it. Oh! All right.
Another level today. Definitely a wake up call. You've got more work to prepare for the next race.
Let's see if it'll let us watch the replay. So let me read that. Let's see here. A lot of people were expecting something on the level of LMU without the confines of the WEC. I think to some degree, Shumi, I think to some degree you're right from the aspect of hold on. Oh boy. Hyping up the AI the way he did, along with the physics, and I think that was the other thing, the AI and the physics, and I think that's why they were looking at something along the lines of a Le Mans Ultimate. So he probably shouldn't have opened his mouth and did that, because once they got into this game and was like, you know, it's a SimK, terrible AI.
At Shumi_VR said, felt like they were going to take inspiration from their success.
Truthfully speaking, I didn't want this game to be like Le Mans Ultimate in terms of GT3s and hypercars and stuff like that. I want to do the older classes. And so, again, that's why I jumped up and bought this game day one, because they offered the GTE class as a pre-order bonus. So I want to do those older classes. The GT3s and the hypercars on this game, don't get me wrong, that's fine. I'll do those, and I'll probably do more. I'll probably. It's like,
at the borderline said, in game there are mods for type of car settings.
well, yeah, the game is supposed to support mods, and I personally think that's how they're going to try to get around factory brands that they don't have a license for, in particular Ferrari. I think they're going to let modders make the Ferraris for them, but it's not going to be called Ferrari. Like, for instance, the Ford GT, I bought a Ford GT mod for R Factor 2, but it wasn't called the Ford GT. It was called the Detroit 313, you know, because 313 is the area code for Detroit. So you don't see the name Interlagos be
At Trevor Mendez 3971 said, you can remove the wheel graphic. It took me 5 days to work out how to do it. But you can. At Caden Cleveland 3350 said, modded McLaren GT3 EVO.
Yeah, that's
at
definitely
Caden Cleveland 3350 said, and a modded McLaren GT1.
So when it comes to the GT3 class in this game, The cars that they're missing the McLaren and the Lexus. But the trade-off is they do have the Audi R8 and they do have the NSX, which Automobile Lister 2 nor Le Mans Ultimate has the NSX. But those aren't it's not a WEC car. But like Automobile Lister 2 should be able to put that car in the game because they have an IMSA license. Whereas the WEC, there are no NSXs racing in the WEC that I know of. Getting around these licenses, like right here, San Marino, this is actually Imola. And you see how they got around that by calling it the San Marino Grand Prix. Right here, Spielberg, this is actually Red Bull Ring. You see they got around that by calling it Spielberg. So some of these tracks have their real names, some of them have a workaround. Right here, Monza, they're calling it Brianza.
At the borderline. Said. Spielberg was the original name for Red Bull Ring, yes. At Kamikaze 8824. Said. Well, IMSA has McLarens that race, so it should be in the game. Same with the Ferraris. At FS Mango Juice said, "Bro, is it me or does the game online puts you in races with ABS NTC completely off?" Lincoln Clay said, "1 second folks, mic issues."
No, we got test.
At the borderline said, "At FS Mango Juice you can assign keys to activate the ABS ANSTC while driving, or use the dash windows in race. Through the start, they are activated."
What in the world? Oh, okay, there it is. What the hell?
At Kamikaze 8824.
You can hear me?
Said, "We can hear you."
But I'm not hearing my voice come back through the stream. Oh, there we go.
At FS Mango Juice said, Online is like everyone is racing on ice, it's a shit show, lol.
Okay. Oh my God, I cannot
At the
believe.
borderline.
My apologies, folks. This whole
Yes,
time.
we can. At FS Mango Juice. Said. We can hear you.
Okay, my deepest apologies, folks. So the headset I was wearing was a SteelSeries wireless headset, and then out of nowhere, I'm hearing beeps inside the headset, and it's like beep, 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 beep. And I kept trying to see what the problem was. At some point, the mic must have got shut off. So all your comments that you guys have been typing into the chats, I have been answering them, but you guys didn't hear me. So deepest apologies for that. So I guess I know not to use that piece of shit again. So now I'm wearing a wired headset. So it's just some cheap set that came from Save-A-Lot, and obviously I got to be careful the way I'm moving around because this thing is spotty as well. All right, let's do a few laps.
Hammer down now.
How dare you?
Session ends in 5 minutes.
This car handles just fine. I mean, I gotta respect it, but it handles. I can't go smashing the pedal to the floor coming out of corners, but it handles all right. People spoke about the handling of some of these cars. Some of the gripes were legitimate because some of these cars, if you downshift too low, then the back end would just step out on the car. Some of them were all right. Some people complained about the handling of the GT3s, which I think the GT3s are fine. But I say all of that to say that some people were saying that the reason why, I guess some of the older cars handle better on this game is because that's what this game was focused on, was older cars, because it was going to be called GT Revival, but then they changed it to Project Motor Racing. And they were saying that the hypercars and GT3s and stuff like that were an afterthought. They weren't originally supposed to be in the game. Ooh! Sounds good. Yeah, sounds good. Okay, cool. The mic still works. Okay, so something that it doesn't make any sense to buy the PS5 version of this game, but no less, I'm still curious about it. The other reason why it doesn't make sense for me to buy this game for the PS5 is because my PlayStation Plus membership expires in February, and I have no plans to renew it because most of my online games, I have those same games on PC, which doesn't require any type of subscription or membership to play online. And then there's the other equation that I'm not having a lot of fun with GT7. Anybody who's spent any amount of time in GT7 knows that the driving in that game is absolutely atrocious. I make a case that it's probably the worst. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't expect to see good drive racecraft from this game either, because with it being crossplay, there's going to be a lot of people on consoles using controllers. Hell, there's probably going to be a good amount of 12-year-old kids that's going to think it's pretty fun to destroy somebody's race. So, I expect to see a lot of carnage on this game as well, but nonetheless, I'm still having fun over here. So, point being is that I'm thinking about putting up a poll, and what the poll will be asking is, if you already own this game, or if you plan to get this game, which platform will you get it on? Will you get it on PC or console? And that poll will help me to decide whether or not to get this game on PS5. So be on the lookout for that poll, and please vote, because that'll help me determine whether or not to buy this game, because it is $70, and that will also make a difference in whether or not I extend my PlayStation Plus membership. So yeah, please vote when I put that up. So, coming back to the discussion about the cars they have on this game versus the cars you see on Le Mans Ultimate and other games, we definitely have to keep in mind with Le Mans Ultimate.
At the borderline said $53 on instant gaming.
Well, I mean, I'm guessing that's for the PC version. If it's $53 for the PlayStation version, then yeah, I'll get it. So
at the borderline said PC for me only.
Yeah, I mean, I already paid the $60 for it here on PC, and I think it's better. Like, the $53 you pay for it is fine, but I think it's a safer move to pay the extra $7 and buy it on Steam for a couple of reasons. One is that you're going to actually get the game, whereas if you buy it on one of these sites, you don't know if somebody's selling you a code that's already been used. Number two, if you buy this game and you play it and you decide you don't like it, you can always get a refund. That's another reason, like, Sony is terrible with that. If you buy a game from Sony, the minute you start the download, you can't get a refund. If you buy the game but you don't download it, I guess they'll still give you a refund. But the minute you hit that download button, you can't get a refund. So I think Sony needs to take a better look at that. I think Steam and Meta on the VR headset, they have the best return policies if you want to refund the game. I guess Xbox is a little bit better than...
At the borderline. Said. You're right, but Instant Gaming sell only official codes.
Okay. All right, I'll keep that in mind. So, the cars here, you get 7 GTE cars, and like comparing it to Automobile Institute or Le Mans Ultimate, they have 4. Now, the 4 cars in particular on Automobile Institute, they just recently got the Aston Martin. They have the M8 BMW, they have the C8, and they have the Porsche. What Automobile Institute does not have is this 4GT, this Viper, and the Corvette C7. So that alone, to me, was worth the $60. It was worth the pre-order to get 7 GTE cars versus 4 that you get on Le Mans Ultimate and Automobile Institute. Now, on Le Mans Ultimate, the 4 GTEs, the cars that they have the Aston Martin, the Corvette CR8, the Porsche, and they also have the Ferrari 488. But with Le Mans Ultimate, again, what they don't have this 4GT, this Viper, the Corvette C7, or this BMW M8. But the crazy part about it is, if they wanted to, they could have put the M8 on Le Mans Ultimate, because they have the M8 on R Factor 2. GT3 class, I think you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 GT3s. So to give you the short version of it, Le Mans Ultimate, the cars that they do have that this game doesn't have, they have the Lexus, the McLaren, and the Ferrari 296. What they don't have that this game has the Acura NSX, the Audi, and the Audi R8. Yeah. So I think between Project Motor Racing, Le Mans Ultimate, Automobile Institute, I think you pretty much got all your cars covered. Between those 3 games, they all have the cars you're looking for. I think now one exception to that rule would be GT7 with the GT2 cars they have, or Group 2 cars with the Ray Brigg NSX, the Lexus RCF, I believe, and I think a Nissan. They do have those cars. Those cars are nice, and they're really fun to drive in VR. And even though this NSX doesn't look near as good as the other cars, something about it just keeps speaking to me. Even though...
At Kamikaze 8824 said, is there mods for liveries?
I don't know how they're going to do the mods. I really don't know how the mods are going to work. All I know is that they said that the game will support mods on both consoles and PC. And I think that's going to be a tough situation on on console, because when
Kamikaze 8824 said, those GT 500 cars are coming to Project Motor Racing.
Oh, cool. That will be extra cool. I will definitely get that DLC, because those are the cars. I do love that Ray Brigg NSX on GT7, I'm not gonna lie. But to come back to this mod, the mod stuff and the legalities of it. So over on Sony, on PlayStation, they had this game called Dreams, where you could pretty much create anything. You could use the tools at your disposal to create VR games, flat screen games, little short mini games, demos, whatever. Somebody made a Mario World game within Dreams, and Nintendo contacted Sony and told them that they wanted that shit removed.
At Kamikaze 8824 said, yeah, Q1 next year it'll be added to the game.
Oh, that's cool. So Nintendo contacted Sony and wanted Sony to remove the Nintendo stuff from the Dreams game. And Sony didn't do anything for a couple of weeks, and then they suddenly removed it, and then they put up a disclaimer about not putting up certain stuff when you boot the game up. So my guess is Nintendo was getting ready to sue Sony. And so I think that's why, like, when it comes to the VR space, you know, because I'm a VR guy, there's a game app called VR Chat where you can pretty much create whatever you want. And there's a lot of stuff there, avatars from different games and movies and stuff like that. And that game is capable of running on PS5, but it's not there because I think Sony doesn't want to deal with the headache of somebody trying to sue them because somebody's got a Scooby-Doo avatar on the app. So that brings us back to Project Motor Racing and what's going to happen when somebody makes a Ferrari and then Ferrari calls Sony and threatens to sue them, or calls the devs of this game and threaten to sue them because their brand is on this game without their permission. So I don't know how this mod stuff is going to work. So I mean, if somebody makes a Ferrari and gives it a weird name like Furry Biscuit or something, maybe Ferrari can't do anything about it. But if somebody makes a mod with the Ferrari name on it, yeah, you best believe Ferrari probably gonna jump all up and down on their necks. So I've got about 10 minutes, and then I got to start getting ready for this endurance race on Race Room. So I'll be ending this stream in about 10 minutes, and then I will start the Race Room stream in about a half an hour after that. I will be doing this race. I will be doing that race in VR. So if you're not a fan of Race Room, or you don't like VR or something like that, then this might not be for you. But I will say that the engagement that I'm getting from Project Motor Racing, the views that I'm getting, and the fact that I'm having fun with this game, I can definitely say that I will. I can come back later on this evening and do another stream. I have to go pick my son up around 1 p.m. Eastern time, and then after that, when I get back, I can do another Project Motor Racing stream in the evening.
At the Borderline said, Race Room is a great game. At Kamikaze 8824 said, a game called Snow Runner had mods on console. The trucks in there are unbranded but are obviously made based off of real life trucks, but because they're unbranded the brands can't do anything.
Okay, alright. I think I need to turn the volume up. I think the PC volume might not be there. Yeah. There we go. Ooh yeah. Ooh yeah. Booyah! I might actually have to turn this down. Oh, that freeze nearly killed me.
Minutes to the end.
All right. So 150.7. I do believe that if I was on my other wheelbase, I could get into the 149s. I'd like to see a leaderboard of the fastest laps. You see if they got see if they got like a ranked leaderboard. Holy shit, look at that. They got 25 people registered for this race. But I think this might be a night race though. Damn. Damn. 26 people registered. This is too late. I should have done it. But I gotta get ready for this race room race. Damn, but I wanted to do that. Oh, look at this shit. Oh no. I guess I'll look to do this race later on this evening. When I stream Project Motor Racing again later on this evening. Damn, I really wanted to do that race too. All right. Unfortunately, I think the number of custom lobbies have probably fallen off, being that some people have been experiencing crashes in custom lobbies. So hopefully they'll get us another patch ASAP. But if I'm a betting man, I don't think it's going to happen until Monday. What's my driver profile? Results history. All right. Okay, folks, I need to shut my mouth and get on out of here. For those of you that want to check out the race room race, come on over. I'll see you guys in about 45 minutes. And then I will come back and stream some more Project Motor Racing this evening. So, like I said, I'm off work till Tuesday.
At the borderline, said, probably not before Monday.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. We probably won't see another update until Monday. But hey, the one that they gave us, I'm surprised they gave it to us, because they gave it to us yesterday, which is the day after Thanksgiving, and a lot of people probably have the day off. So, I don't know. Maybe those people worked from home remotely to get that update out to us. So if that's the case, you never know. I mean, I think we won't see one till Monday, but I'm hopeful that we'll get another one probably tomorrow, because I don't think they would give us one like later. I don't know. If we don't get an update till, say, maybe noon, if we don't get an update by noon, I don't think we'll get one till Monday. So fingers crossed though. All right, folks. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys in about 45 minutes while I get ready for this race room race. Remember, this race is going to be in VR. It is a hypercar GT3 race at Nürburgring, the GP layout with the fast chicane. So this should be an interesting race. Come on by, check it out. After that, I have to go pick up my son, and I won't be back until the evening. And then when I get back in the evening, you know, order a pizza for my son and take care of him, whatever. And then I'll come back and stream
at
some
the
more Project
borderline
Motor Racing.
Said, see you.
All right, see ya. Thanks for dropping in, and we'll see you all in about 45 minutes. All right, until then, Wakanda forever, long live the king.